Hello and welcome to the third and final part of our safari vlog from Bukela Lodge on the Amakhala Private Reserve in South Africa. Like part 2, we're going to go straight out on our day 3 early morning run to see what we can find, with the hope of spotting the male lion who evaded us in part 2. I'd recommend watching the first 2 vlogs on our channel if you haven't done so already, as you'll get a fuller picture on what a fabulous time we're having here in the Amakhala Reserve. Oh, and if you subscribe too, you'll make our day. No, our whole week. Thank you. The early mornings can be a bit chilly, misty or wet, or all three. Good job then, Bukela provide us with these super comfy fleece-lined waterproof ponchos to keep us warm and dry. These would be great for UK festivals too, so I might just pick one up from the shop before we leave. Our first delight of the day was a herd of giraffes. Sorry, I mean a tower. Or are they a journey? Or even a kaleidoscope of giraffes? They're all collective nouns to describe a group of these gorgeous long-limbed creatures. There's something really relaxing about watching these graceful beasts eating the treetops. They're just so peaceful and unbothered by your presence. In fact, they're just as inquisitive about you as you are with them. This one was watching us and would stop mid-chew just to check us out, before chewing again, like he couldn't do both at the same time. While we were out looking for the lions, we ran across these 2 tortoises. It was hilarious to watch the male, obviously in heat, try and Netflix and chill with the female, who was so uninterested, she kept walking just out of reach of him. Tortoise romance, eh? Who'd have thought it could be this entertaining? If you've seen our Galapagos series, you'll come to realise that tortoises are the randiest creatures on the planet, it seems. I'll leave a link in the top right corner now, if you want to see the giant tortoises getting it on.
Time to lay eggs, he will then make a nest, and all his females will deposit their eggs in this one nest. But now during the day...
Then we found an ostrich egg. No actual ostriches, just an egg. This is why safaris are weird and wonderful. I even held a dung beetle, but that's another safari and another story coming in our next vlog series. Please subscribe for that because it's one you won't want to miss, I guarantee. Before long, we'd discovered where the lions were, and lo and behold, the whole family were there. Lungelo, our guide, explained that we should under no circumstances stick our limbs outside of the 4x4. This is because the lions, and elephants if I remember, only see the shape of the vehicle, not the detail of what or whom is inside. As they are used to the shape of the vehicle, they ignore it. As soon as that shape is compromised, for example by an excited arm clutching a camera, they will see that shape as being abnormal and potentially attack it. We totally complied. A lion attack would of course be good for YouTube viewing figures, but ultimately detrimental to usable limb numbers. After a while, the lions got up and readied themselves for their morning prowl. We stalked them for a while from a relative safety of the vehicle. The male was the last to rise, and for a few minutes, that seemed like hours, we lost him behind a nearby clutch of bushes. It was a little tense, to be honest, not knowing where this huge deadly animal was. At last, though, he appeared and joined his family. This morning's drive was incredible. To be so near animals you only see on TV or looking bored and sad in a zoo in their own backyard, on their own terms, not ours, is something everyone viewing this video should consider doing at least once in their lives if they can afford to. There's simply nothing like it on Earth. After the extreme exhilaration of our encounter, we got back to the lodge and had a good wander around the site. For a more detailed look at the lodge itself and our beautiful honeymoon suite, see part 1 The tents and suites are spread out beautifully to ensure everyone gets privacy and the best possible view from their verandas. The units splinter off a main network of raised walkways, and you have to be careful where you stand, as not all the wildlife is big and scary. This little praying mantis I spotted on the walkway was tiny but no less fearless. He wouldn't budge. Our evening drive was just as exhilarating than all our previous drives. There was so much wildlife on show, it was quite hard to believe that so many varieties of species actually lived together on the same patch of land. It's totally alien to someone from the UK like us, whose only thrill is seeing a small deer or two moping around and maybe a bored-looking horse in a National Trust park. As we entered our final morning, we only had one of the big five left on the reserve to spot, the Cape buffalo. The African Big Five does not actually refer to the biggest or the rarest of creatures in Africa. Rather, it's a historical term coined by big game hunters for the 5 animals most difficult to hunt on foot. They are, for the record, the African elephant, the black rhino, the African lion, the African leopard, and the Cape buffalo. We also couldn't see a leopard because the reserve was then in the throes of introducing one, which is quite a complicated process, as leopards are possibly even more apex than the other apex predator on the reserve, the lions. They have a strong homing sense, and moving them is tricky, as they're known to escape and travel hundreds of miles to get back to their original territory. And this causes absolute chaos in local farms. On the way to the buffalo, we visited Norman, a solitary old bull elephant who lives in a certain area of the reserve, away from the elephant herd. Norman is the largest and oldest of the elephants here, and the most unpredictable. Thankfully today he was chilled and just wanted to mope about a bit. Cape buffaloes should not be underestimated. They are extremely dangerous to humans and are perpetually grumpy and ready for a fight with them. Don't let those horny heads shaped like a Dutch milkmaiden's hair fool you. To summarise our stay at Bukela Lodge would be just a paragraph of excited superlatives. An African safari is no ordinary vacation activity. It is one of those experiences that will stay with you forever, and I mean forever. If we hadn't managed to convince you in this 3-part review, book one anyway. We found Bukela Lodge to be excellent, friendly, clean, luxurious, and the array of animals on the Amakhala Reserve do not disappoint. There's most species on here, and you'll have a pretty good chance of seeing them all. Still, I'd have not expected a hippo, tortoises, or tiny praying mantises, but with an eagle eye and a decent zoom lens, there's so much more than the headline animals here. We'd happily come back and do it all over again. Thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. We've got a lot more adventures to show you, and we'd love to take you with us. Thank you very much. Hakuna Matata!